Most Gen Z don't fail financially because they don't work hard. They fail because the financial system they grow up in quietly pushes them toward constant spending, instant gratification, and short-term thinking. You are encouraged to buy now, pay later. You are rewarded for looking successful, not being stable, and you are rarely taught how to manage money once it actually arrives. So people assume the problem is income, but income is rarely the root issue. Cash flow is. If money comes in and immediately flows out, the number doesn't matter. $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month, the outcome is the same. Stress replaces freedom. That's why today we're not talking about extreme frugality. We're talking about control. Control over spending, control over decisions, control over future outcomes. And the framework that makes this possible is simple enough to follow for decades. The 50-30-20 rule, not because it's perfect, but because it creates structure in a world designed to remove it. The idea is simple. You divide your after-tax income into 3 functional categories: needs, wants, savings, and investments. But the real value of this rule is not the percentages. It's the boundaries. Needs are not what you feel you need. They are what keeps your life operational: housing, utilities, food, insurance, transportation, minimum debt payments. If you lost your income tomorrow, these are the expenses that would still exist. Wants are everything else. They are optional by definition, even if they feel emotionally necessary. Savings and investments are not leftover money. They are future income stored for later use. Emergency protection, opportunity capital, long-term compounding. When these 3 categories are clearly separated, money stops feeling confusing. It becomes directional. Now let's see how this works in real life, starting with the most common Gen Z income range, $2,000 per month after tax. At this level, financial mistakes are unforgiving. One bad habit can consume a massive percentage of income. 50% for needs equals $1,000. This is where housing decisions dominate everything. Living alone often consumes too much income at this stage. Roommates are not a downgrade, they are leverage. They reduce fixed costs and increase flexibility. Utilities must be monitored, not ignored. Internet, phone plans, electricity. These are areas where overpaying is common and unnecessary. Food spending should focus on sustainability, not perfection. Cooking at home most of the time is not a lifestyle punishment. It is a financial stabilizer. Transportation must be practical. A paid-off car, public transit, or minimal usage often beats image-driven decisions. 30% for wants equals $600. This is where spending discipline actually matters. Because wants expand to fill available space, subscriptions quietly eat this category alive. Music, video, cloud storage, productivity apps, fitness memberships. Each one feels harmless. Together, they create permanent drag. Eating out should be intentional. 1 or 2 planned meals provide enjoyment. Frequent unplanned meals destroy budgets without increasing happiness. 20% for savings and investments equals $400. At this level, the goal is safety, not growth. Emergency savings come first. 1 month of expenses, then 3. Only after that does investing make sense. Consistency matters more than asset selection here. Now, let's move to $3,000 per month after tax. This is where most people feel financially comfortable for the first time, and this is where most mistakes begin. 50% for needs equals $1,500. This income allows for upgrades, but upgrades lock in fixed costs. A nicer apartment feels like progress, but higher rent reduces future options. Transportation costs often increase here too. Newer cars, higher insurance, more maintenance. These decisions quietly reduce long-term flexibility. 30% for wants equals $900. This feels like freedom, but freedom without rules turns into waste. Impulse purchases become normalized. Small upgrades become frequent. Spending increases without improving satisfaction. This category needs limits to prevent lifestyle inflation. 20% for savings and investments equals $600. This is where momentum begins. Emergency funds should already exist. Now investing becomes the priority. Retirement accounts, broad market exposure, long-term consistency. Automation is critical. If the money never hits your checking account, it never becomes temptation. Now let's look at $5,000 per month after tax. This income level creates choices, not guarantees. 50% for needs equals $2,500. This is where financial damage often becomes permanent. Luxury apartments, premium vehicles, high fixed expenses. Once locked in, these costs are psychologically hard to reverse. But wealth is built by keeping fixed costs boring. 30% for wants equals $1,500. This is more than enough to enjoy life, travel, experiences, hobbies. But spending should enhance life, not signal status. Consumption without purpose leads to clutter, not fulfillment. 20% for savings and investments equals $1,000. This is serious capital. Now diversification matters. Tax efficiency matters. Long-term planning matters. This is where future optionality is built. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Income alone never creates financial security. Behavior does. And most financial damage doesn't come from big purchases. It comes from invisible costs. Let's break them down. Subscription creep is the first. Recurring charges feel invisible. Once they're set, they disappear from awareness. But they reduce cash flow every month, permanently. Audit subscriptions quarterly. Cancel aggressively. Re-add intentionally. Convenience spending is next. Delivery fees. Ride-sharing. Express shipping. You're paying extra for speed, not value. Occasional convenience is fine. Habitual convenience is expensive. Lifestyle matching is another silent killer. Trying to match coworkers, friends, or online lifestyles. You never see other people's savings. You only see their spending. Comparing consumption guarantees dissatisfaction. Emotional spending is the most dangerous. Stress purchases, reward purchases, boredom purchases. Money becomes emotional regulation instead of a tool. Awareness is the antidote. Now let's talk about why Gen Z struggles uniquely. Housing costs consume a larger percentage of income than previous generations. Job stability is lower. Social media constantly promotes unrealistic standards. This creates pressure to appear successful early. The result is urgency. Urgency leads to poor financial decisions. The solution is not restriction, it's systems, automatic transfers, clear rules, delayed gratification by default. Money should move before you touch it. Savings should happen automatically. Investing should happen automatically. Bills should be predictable. When systems exist, discipline becomes optional. Now, let's talk briefly about investing. Without hype, you don't need complexity. You don't need perfect timing. You need consistency, broad market exposure, long time horizon, low fees. Speculation is optional. Crypto, individual stocks, high-risk assets should never replace the foundation. They sit on top of it. The foundation protects you. Speculation entertains you. Confusing the two creates risk. Wealth is not built by luck. It's built by survival. Surviving job loss, surviving market downturns, surviving personal emergencies. People who stay invested long enough win by default. Now, let's redefine the real goal. Not being rich, being resilient, having margin, having options, having time. The most powerful financial skill is not earning more. It's resisting unnecessary spending when you can afford it. That's how compounding actually works. Small decisions repeated for years beat big decisions made once. If you want, comment your income range and spending breakdown. I'll review it and show you exactly where money is leaking, and how to fix it without destroying your lifestyle.